Let's have another relaxing, commonplacing, and journaling session. So I have really been loving these paper minty studio washi tapes. Also, this is her field note sticker kit that I purchased that she recently released in August. I had some of you ask me, where do I get my ephemera from? Paper Minty Studios is one of those shops that I go back to always, and she creates these beautiful collages and collections and washi tape. So I really love shopping from her, but she does open up her shop once in a while, so you always have to follow her like on Instagram or her stories just to make sure you know when she's releasing. Now this ephemera right here, I actually got it from Barnes and Nobles when I purchased a new book, and I love taking any tags, any kind of like old receipts or anything that is not needed to file. I'll take those elements and put them inside my Commonplace journal. So right here, this is like a sleeve that came in with my book from Barnes and Nobles, and I decided to take them and cut them up and make them into little pieces of ephemera. Ephemera is basically anything that you can use to kind of create your journal. And I like using anything from books, old books. I like using anything from just pictures, or if I have to print something in my printer, I actually use Canva and put up pictures into little tiny squares, and then I print them and then just cut them with my Fiskars cutter. So here, this is another part of the sleeve from a book that I purchased, and I'm just placing that in my spread. And I just loved how this looks. I love the birds. And the book that I purchased is The Woman in White. It's a very old classic, and I really was trying to figure out if I wanted to get that. And I did. And I also got Persuasion. So these are two old kind of like texts that have been around for a while by these authors. And I just really loved how they looked, how they felt, and I wanted to incorporate those purchases in my Commonplace journal. Now I'm looking through this field notes collection from Paper Minty Studio, and I'm trying to find the right stickers, the right kind of collection to go with a specific page. And every page has a different theme, but it's still part of a consistent collection. Now, this she recently released. This is her kind of like Fashion Girls pet tape, and I could not wait to get this because I'm always purchasing Fashion Girls. I just love having them in my book, and this is no different. I actually took off the tape, as you can see here, completely, and I was like, you know what, that's okay. I'm just gonna cut out what I want, and then what I'm gonna do is kind of put them wherever I need them. And that's what I basically did. When it comes to commonplacing and journaling, you really kind of want to feel what your theme is going to be. You also want to play around with what color story or what color imaging you are using, and how that incorporates into what you're either writing about, discussing, or you're kind of putting in your book, right? There are different ways to kind of create a theme or a topic, and there's different things that you can place in order to really kind of create that, right? So if you go to the movies and let's say you watch like The Little Mermaid, right? Which, oh, amazing. You watch that movie, right? You could take that movie ticket and literally put it inside your Commonplace journal, and then maybe get a Fashion Girl sticker and you can write about it and then categorize it based on what you were talking about, right? So you definitely want to develop like a feeling or a vibe going in your Commonplace journal. And with this field notes collection, I really love that it was very like, you know, out and about and kind of exploring nature, having flowers and butterflies and these fashion girls looking for adventure. And then on top of that, I love using these word stickers. These word stickers are from The Love of Stationery, New York. It's an Etsy shop, so you can find her on Etsy, The Love of Stationery, New York. And I love placing phrases and words throughout my Commonplace book. It captures the feeling, it captures the emotion, it captures what I want to do throughout my spread. Now, as you can see here, I'm just kind of flipping over the pages and I'm trying to figure out what I need to kind of complete next. And what I'm going to do here is my categorization list. So this is basically where I am going to categorize the topics and what I am going to discuss in my Commonplace journal or notebook, whatever way you like to call it. You can call it whatever you like, but I like to always place my categorization or topics of discussion in the back of the book, so it's easier for me just to find. And I wanted to add a new category because I feel like there was one category that I was kind of using for many things, which was kind of like my books, content, podcasts, and things like that. And I really wanted to separate books I'm reading. I have really been into kind of just wanting to read more, and I have been removing myself from social media platforms, just personal social media platforms that are really taking away my time, and they're not really conducive to who I am as a person. And I feel like a lot of people post on social media when it comes to like personal things, like, look at all the amazing things I'm doing. And that's wonderful. But I just really wanted to kind of step away from that and really embrace being in the present, really embrace just kind of maintaining my attention and doing things like that, such as journaling. So as you can see here, I'm going to add a yellow sticker and I'm debating. I'm like, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? And I finally did it because my last Commonplace book only had 4 categories. This one's having 5. And I know I need it. I know I need the 5th one. So we have Happy Meal. Happy Meal is basically anything that you get or purchase from a planner shop, a sticker shop, anything that you buy online, whether it's something for stationery, something related to pens, that's what it is. Then I have, content, movies, podcasts that I listen to. Then it's pop culture, right? And then also it's mood and thoughts. And then the last one is going to be books and articles. And as you can see here, I just am loving using this categorization system. It's been working for me. And I'm going to take a phrase and I'm just going to cut it up. And I'm going to put it on the top, and I'm also going to put it on the bottom to kind of just make sure it flows. And as you can see here, it is just beautiful. And I'm going to quickly flip through my pages and now start categorizing what I did. So as you can see here, that's a blue, that's pertaining to something I read already. That's also Happy Meal. Green is always Happy Meal because I'm spending money. So there goes another blue that's pertaining to the book I just purchased. And then I'm flipping over and I'm trying to see like, what else do I need to put in there? And once I do that, I just generally like to either write what I'm currently thinking, or I will go back and finish up maybe adding something to my actual Commonplace journal. It is really dependent on how you feel. I had a lot of people ask basically, when do you find the time? How long do you spend on journaling or commonplacing? And it usually takes me about 10 to 20 minutes at most because I don't have a full morning to do it. I take care of both my parents. So my time is very limited in the morning. I really have to be intentional about how much time I spend planning and how much time I spend commonplacing or journaling. So I'm taking another part of that inside sleeve, and this is the Lauren Phelps design tape. And this tape is amazing because it folds in half and you can literally stick it on one half of whatever ephemera you want to stick in the middle of your book, right? So it's like taping, right? Tape-ins. But instead of using just tape, this specific tape, it is a tape, but this specific tape folds in half. So I really just, you can see the top of my head there. I'm really trying to get in there and make sure it's on the line, and then I'm going to cut the excess off. And then I'm going to show you how easy this tape is. Again, it's from Lauren Phelps Design. You can find her on Instagram or just Google Lauren Phelps Designs. And I'm going to fold this tape. And once I do that, I'm going to take off that outer layer and then I'm just going to tape it. And there you go. It is so easy to add in a tip-in, and I just love that. So I call them tape-ins, right? I used to call them tape-ins because you're literally taping in whatever you want. But this is a tip-in, and then I'm gonna add to the tip-in. I always like adding like a story or a picture or kind of like a special kind of theme in back of my little tip-ins because it gives me a glimpse of something that I'm thinking about, something that I want to add. If it's going with the theme or the color, I definitely like placing that in there. And sometimes when something doesn't work, I'm like, you know what, this can actually go on another page, which you clearly see that I'm doing. And I decide to kind of play around with the layouts. And this is what you're going to realize when it comes to commonplacing. You will definitely play around with the types of layout, with the types of stickers, with the types of different types of ephemera you want in your pages. And it goes down to whatever you like and whatever you prefer. There is no right or wrong way to actually create or write in your commonplace notebook, right? It's whatever you want it to be. Although it's supposed to be from books or contexts or experiences, I have really made it my own, and I really got inspiration from Megan Rhiannon and also just seeing Lindsay Scribbles as well. But I really wanted to make it my own and really wanted to go more in depth into different categories, and I have a different style in terms of how I use my commonplace journal. So I really just loved how this came out, and I'm really trying to figure out what I'm doing with the bottom of this page. Unfortunately, my camera was way too high, but I'm sure once I move it up, you get to see what the finished product looks like. And if you always want to see what I am flipping through, just check out my Instagram. I do share flips in there. It's like a little personal hobby account, and I just share like what my spreads look like or how pages are flowing. And this is basically how I completed my commonplace book. It looks absolutely stunning. I am in love with it, and I just love this book from Sterling Ink. It is absolutely beautiful, and look at these pages. They are just everything. So I really hope you enjoy and appreciate this commonplace journaling session.